Oh, I'm live. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, I need a haircut so bad. Monique here, live from the green room at Silver Paw Studio, also founder of Pearl Pet Photog. This is our monthly Q&A. This is your chance to ask questions live. Pet photography, it could be working with the pets, with the gear, sales, business, all of that. Anything you want to know, we can talk about it here. It's about a week earlier than normal because next week I'll be getting ready to take a 10-day trip to see family. So I thought I'd probably better do it pretty quick. So before we jump in, hi everyone, and welcome to the replay viewer. So be sure that you are subscribed if you want to ask questions on this free open Q&A. In every single month. So make sure you're subscribe, the notification bell on, all those fun things. A little bit of housekeeping first. Excuse me, I've got my water here. I really do. Lots and lots and lots of resources right here at propetphotog.com. So if you're like, oh, I love this, I would like to know more, that is the place to be. Also, you can join the Facebook group. I love this group. Y'all are so great in there. Really fun, secure, like private Facebook group. I do have an Instagram, ProPet Photog. All these should be ProPet Photog. I did not yet record the Monday episode of the podcast. I took yesterday off completely. So there's that. If you want to email me directly, there you go. There you go. Everything's backwards. Holy cow. All right. So we got it. We got all that. Yes. Let's go over and see what's up, everybody. Who's here? Who's here? All of you are off to the side of my computer. That's why I'm looking that way. It's a ginormous screen. Heather's in the house. Hey, she says hi to everyone. Oh, Patty's here. Hello, Patty. Rob, hello from Wisconsin. Hello. Oh my gosh, I bet spring is sprung there. Very green, I would suspect. If we're green in Colorado, you must be green in Wisconsin. Patty's here. Whoop whoop. Patty says, hi, Heather. I love all the side conversations. So as much as you want to talk on the side to everybody else, that's awesome. Love it. I try not to miss any comments, but y'all cover me, right? Okay, you've been listening to podcasts. Whoop whoop. So I kind of like the format that I've got right now. A lot of podcasts I listen to have segments. So I have like 3 segments of the Pro Pet Photog podcast at this point. So Troy is here from Buffalo. Hello. I bet it's pretty spring there as well. Yeah, welcome, welcome. And everyone's saying hi to each other. Awesome. Every time I do these Q&As, I think, oh, I should have a topic. There are other creators that I follow that have some topic. Like today, we're going to talk about marketing. And I keep thinking that, but I also I'm happy to talk about that. It's on my mind like all the time. But I also want to be open to whatever questions that you have. Now, I do want to make sure that you are on the email list because that's where you're going to find out things first and where you're going to get exclusive invitations. If you are on the email list, I really hope you read the first paragraph of Friday's email for an event that I'm doing in August. And I kind of want it to I want it to be for people on the list first that I kind of know and are committed to, you know, pet photography and all that. So if you have not read your Friday email, please go read it and let me know if that August date sounds good to you. That sound good? If you're not on that list, guess where you can go? propetphotog.com. And there is a button there. Yep. It's pretty easy. I tried to make it easy for you. So really stress being on that list. It comes out every Friday right when the produced video comes out. So give you a little bit of behind the scenes thoughts on that video and any other invitation to whatever I'm doing. And also tells you when I'm going to do these lives. So often, what I try to do is I tell you in that email, and then I put it in the Facebook group, and I make a that day or the day before. I don't try to do it any further out than that. Is I let you know right here on YouTube, it's kind of like a premiere, so you'll see that it's coming up. So those are the ways that you'll know when I'm about to go live. I try to do it about the 3rd or 4th Monday of the month, just so you know. So it's hard because you all are everywhere, like, all over, like, a lot of East Coasters today, actually, but everyone kinda lives everywhere, so it would be hard to make a time that works for everyone. So, if you're a replay viewer, I try to go back through and watch the entire hour and put chapters in for you. So if you think, "Oh, I really wanted to ask a question about marketing," then you can look through the chapters after this airs, and, you can see exactly where we talked about that. So that's how that works. I've been really trying to put chapters on everything. I have a long video coming out this Friday. So if you saw the video where I went to the grooming shop and we photographed 7 dogs there for a display, remember I said there was a part 2 coming soon? It's coming this Friday. Yes, Katie just finished editing it, my fantastic editor, and I put the chapters in. And that's all scheduled and ready to go for this Friday. So if you have any questions about using, displays, kinda like this, at businesses around town as a marketing project, uh, then part 2 is gonna be out this Friday, and it's just a two-parter. It's like 30 minutes or so, and I thought about making it into another part, but, it's fine. I didn't know a good place to stop it. So it has chapters, so you can kinda skip around if you want, but I mean, I'd love it if you watch the whole thing. Señor Yaxon! Oh my gosh, can you give us a dad joke? Señor Yaxon is so great. We have in our town, the SBDC, Small Business Development Council, something like that, part of SBA, they have all these professionals that come in and give talks, and you can sign up for free, uh, all kinds of consultations. Well, there's one marketing agency, and they send this lady named Amy, and she's got such good dad jokes. She's so well known for her dad jokes that the first time I saw her talk, someone next to me is like, "Hey, have you ever heard Amy talk?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Just wait, just wait." And so I went to one the other day, and her, um, marketing firm has gotten so busy that she can't, volunteer, or I think it's a paid position for the SBDC anymore, so, so now I'm counting on you, Senior Yaxon, to give us the dad joke fix of the week. He has a YouTube channel. Oh gosh, I always do the wrong hand. Follow this guy because he has a YouTube channel. He's actually in Texas. And so he does some behind the scenes of dog photo sessions too, and a variety of other things. So there you go. Follow him. He's one of the few of us here on YouTube. Heather says, the grooming salon was great. I'm really looking forward to part 2. Thank you for all you do for us. Oh, you're welcome. This was a long video because I mean, like, took a long time to film. So really, this video pretty much started in my head in January. Oh, you do? Okay, good, Patty, cool. Um, it really started in January when I started talking to this grooming shop that had moved to this location. For some reason, I thought it was longer, but just in September, and that's where I take my dog, and they used to be affiliated with the rescue and this history and this relationship with them. But they had these huge blank walls because they had to, like, move in, and that kind of took everything they had and just get it up and going, and so they needed this display. I needed a new place to display. There you go. The prints are ginormous. I have not done a display of this size before. You'll also wanna watch it. I talk about everything from, uh, I we go to the grooming shop and we do, like, a design appointment, so you see behind the scenes of that. Um, I go I unbox what I got. We go back to the grooming shop and you see me install everything. And then we go back to the studio and I recap and I tell you what sizes we ended up, which materials, where I got them, how much it costs. So I am being a little bit like transparent there and exactly what it costs. So, but I do think it's a type of marketing that y'all can do. So if you want to know more right now, not about that project in particular, because all that'll come out on Friday. So you'll get all the deets there. But if you want to know about that type of marketing for with displays, you can ask that question too here today. So I'll be on until the top of the hour. So I usually set aside an hour for this Q and A. I'm also happy to talk about gear. I want to do like a little plug. I don't have it in here anymore. I'm going to create a banner right now. Eh, Oops, this one, sorry, not that one. Oh, it didn't save. Hold on. I saw a question come through too. I'll get it. This one, Cattail Chronicles. That is, my husband and I started that YouTube channel. Yeah, it's been almost a year, and so I talk a lot more about gear on Cattail Chronicles, and it's the same gear I use for the studio, except for the giant long lens. I don't have it in here right now, but I have a really big lens for wildlife. I don't use that for pet photography, everything else. So I've kind of moved all of the gear talk over there, and we're actually 14 subscribers away from a milestone where I'll be able to post in the community tab. So, a little plug for the other channel with me and my silly husband. Okay, what do we got for questions? How many of you market and promote your business as a luxury? So Troy's asking this pretty much to everyone. So chime in on that. Really, I kind of consider pet photography a luxury anyway. And a lot of portrait photography really is, unless you're doing like B2B. And so I feel like headshots and business photos and things like that, that's not a luxury. That's just something you need to do. That's a cost of doing business. But if you're talking about like a higher end affluent market, I'd love people to chime in here. A really great book is at the studio right now is my friend Jeffrey Shaw wrote the book Lingo, Discover Your Ideal Client's Secret Language. And it's a great book. It's a great book on figuring out how to communicate with the people that you want to serve. Okay, so chime in there for Troy. Patty, you need to do model calls. Yeah, model calls are fun. Yeah. Uh, do you have questions about that? Or are you just talking about that as a marketing? So that's a great way when you're very first starting, because I know you're just about to like open your doors. That'd be a fantastic way to really beef up your portfolio, your social media, and really just like rain down on your your community. Like, wow, she's everywhere. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Lisa made it late to the party. You're not that late. Welcome. Hey, Lisa. Welcome, welcome. And Catherine's here. Catherine, are you living in Alaska now? Woo, we might have someone actually on the West Coast today. Yes. So Lisa, just so you know, Troy, Lisa does market to higher end luxury clients. So there's one vote. All right. Patty, she registered her business last week. We plan on doing in-person sales, doing a website that lets them know I'm doing wall art, etc. Yeah. So that's one way to kind of differentiate yourself. You're not maybe a high volume digital only type. So doing the wall art kind of puts you in that more luxury, higher cost category, right? Fine art prints and albums, luxury price to match. Yep. Yep. Lisa's got her everything lined out really well. Senior Yaxon, not much marketing promotion yet because of the crazy schedule with home renos. Oh, life and other work. Well, you gotta. I work to live, so I'm all for that. I love my work. Don't get me wrong, but my work is so that I can do the things that I love, like home renovations. So that's okay. When it's time, I'm here to help, and so are all these lovely people. Oh, you'll be in Alaska soon. How exciting for you. I can't even imagine all the wildlife photography and ocean photography if you're gonna be near the ocean. I guess there's a ton of inland Alaska too, so I don't know exactly, but that's just a photography heaven there. Patty, I think a few people know me since a local news publication stole your picture. I know. So here's hoping they know you from that. Oh my goodness. Did you ever do a spinoff? Say, hey, I know many of you probably saw this dog picture. It really wasn't meant to be leaked, but hey, my name is Patty. I did not leak the picture. I don't know. I don't know if there's a way that you could talk about that, or if you just kind of want to put that behind you, trying to make it into a more positive look at your studio. But I think most people kinda know, like, "Oh, it was just shared," kinda like, what is it? The Dodo just is pretty much just shares everybody else's stuff and makes all their money off of everybody else. 13th of June. Oh, yes, 1 month? Oh, June's really coming up. Oh, yeah, you still have to graduate. I forgot. Well, congratulations, Catherine, on graduation. I think that's now, right? Or was that last year? Anywho, you know what I'm talking about. Troy, can we share? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yes, please do. Everyone, feel free to share your websites here in the chat. That'd be fantastic. I always get ideas from how other people lay out their websites. I love that. Sometimes I think, oh, that's a good point to add to either my FAQ or my about page, or oh, I really love how they did the header. I love sharing that for idea wise. Yeah. And also, if you're like myself and Senior Yaxon, if you have a YouTube channel, there are very few. Maybe Troy, you'd want to do this. There are very few pet photographers here on YouTube, even though there are millions of creators. So more are welcome. Yay. Okay. They didn't know. They know I didn't like the picture, but plan to use Kevin's pic on your web. Aw, aw, that would be cool. So when your website starts up, Patty, maybe then you can share the story, or your part of the story or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. And this is for Troy. She doesn't have her website. Yep. Yeah. Just getting all of the dominoes in place. Yeah. Heather, aiming at a premium service. And the portfolio invitations I've issued are to my ideal clients. Very good. Awesome. I think we've talked about that before. It's nice to do the model calls. And like if you're going to do an opening special kind of a thing, just make sure everyone knows your actual end prices and products, and try to get them through the entire um, system. I don't know, like timeline. So even if these are going to maybe be low cost, no cost, whatever, at least they know your final prices and products, and they go through the whole thing. Like they do the consult if you do those, and they do the actual session exactly how you would run it. Then you do the viewing and ordering appointment. And if they end up ordering, obviously the delivery, and try to get them through your whole system, because that's part of the idea with model calls, right? And the portfolio invitations. It's not just the photos, it's your entire system. I know I did that, and I found some bugs in my system when I did that, just the way I did it, and some ways that I needed to know how to use my sales software. So it was really good to do those. Marie, good vibes. Is that your website? Or are you just saying it? Whoop, whoop. Catherine, graduate May 30th. It's coming right up. Congratulations. Yes, Steve's youngest daughter also graduates June 2nd, I think. So we're going to California for that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, everybody. Woohoo! Catherine. She's had a big year. She won that award for her cat photo. If you're in the Facebook group. Yeah. Final start this week. Last day of school, May 25th. Oh my goodness. Whoop, whoop. All right, Heather decided on a LinkedIn profile as a website. Well, that's interesting. I don't understand. So instead of building your own website, you'll just have a LinkedIn profile, and you're going to find your private commission photography clients through LinkedIn? Or are you going to work mostly with businesses? Because that's who I know on LinkedIn. Curious strategy behind that and the reasons. Catherine, yay. Thank you. Yes, I'm planning in a full run through. Yeah. Good idea. Troy, did you share your website? I'm pretty sure I've been to your website, but I'd love to take a look at it again. So share. And actually, there's the chat here, but I believe you can also just leave a comment like a regular YouTube video. And actually, on a live stream, you can still give the thumbs up too, which is pretty nice. So a lot of people don't know that, because once you're kind of in the live stream screen, it looks a little bit different, but you can always go give it a thumbs up during the live too. Shameless plug. Let me get some water. Yeah. So, the reason I kind of talk about marketing a lot is because the most common question is, how do I get clients? How do I get clients? And I think about it all the time. Everybody in Facebook group thinks about it all the time. The reason you go to networking meetings is they're all trying to figure that out. Everybody's trying to figure it out. So that's why I kind of talk a lot about marketing. It's not like the most flashy subject. A lot of times we want to talk about our gear or look at this cute picture. You know what I mean? So even though this channel is very small, the pro pet photog community is not, massive, tens of thousands of people. It's still important information that you will look for eventually and need eventually. So here we are. We're helping each other out. A rising tide raises all boats, right? Let's see. What does Lisa have to say? Use model calls to get comfortable with the sales process. Oof, it does take some getting comfortable, doesn't it? It was helpful. Yeah. Yeah. I my very first one, I'm not gonna lie, it was with my best friend. And it was back when I was doing all people portraits. I don't think I was doing pet photography at that time. Not quite. I was working in the animal industry at the veterinary hospital, but, yeah, I we did the whole thing. So I had just set up my laptop with ProSelect, sales software, and we did a whole, like, model session for her. We went to the park, we did the whole thing, and I edited everything. I got it loaded up into, ProSelect. I made sure I had all my sizes, all my prices, taxes, everything set up in there, and then she came back over, and I showed her through them just like I would with a client, or I thought I would with a client, and, since she was my BFF, still is, can't wait for her to move here. You're all gonna meet her when she moves here. Okay. Yes. Okay. She was very honest with me, said, "Ooh, that didn't seem right," or that doesn't make sense, that kind of thing. So she was super helpful because I knew that she would be completely, open with me and I was not going to take it wrong. Right. But then you need to graduate very quickly to your model calls and your regular clients, I think. So those are really, really great when you're first starting out. Now, model calls later on, I would not suggest necessarily. Those I would just kind of pivot into some limited edition type mini sessions that are fundraisers. That's another way if you're a little bit more established, but you're not really interested in doing a model call, you can set up a limited edition and set that up with your favorite cause and have part of the funds go to them. And I like to offer those occasionally uh, because I am a luxury brand, I guess, like Troy would say, is that I charge more than a lot of people are expecting. And so having a lower price point a couple of times a year that I'm okay with. So if you do this and you go, that was a whole lot of work and I didn't get very much money, I really don't want to do this again. Don't get into that mindset. So if that happens and you can try, like you're going to try a million things for marketing, a million, 900,000 aren't gonna work. That's okay. But it's looking back on it and going, "Okay, was it worth it? Did it tick off everything I wanted it to do? And if it wasn't, don't do it again." Or do it again, but tweak it a little bit. So just be cognizant of the outcomes and if it fulfilled what you wanted it to fulfill, whether that was outreach, fundraising, portfolio building, cash, all of those are fine. So any marketing you do, think about it later and go, okay, how did this actually work out? Marie, sorry, driving to work. Mistook you thinking you said everyone share their websites. Yeah. Yeah. Was that your website? That's what I was asking. Is your website called Good Vibes? Is it like goodvibes.com? That's what I was wondering, Marie. Yeah. So I do want you to add your website. Yes, please. Yeah, so I have on the brain all the time about marketing and client acquisition, essentially. Right? How are we connecting with our clients? How are they finding us? What's our message to them? What are we offering them? All kinds of things. And again, I would definitely let me type it in here. The book Lingo by Jeffrey Shaw. He has the podcast Self-Employed Life. Oh, is this going to work? Oh no, am I frozen? Oh my goodness. I am seeing the veal. Okay, there it goes. I don't know why. I think we got a storm coming in. I'm not sure why that would change anything, but so I suggest this book, Lingo by Jeffrey Shaw. If you are still kind of trying to sort out who your client is, how you can connect with them, And then just for anyone who starts a business is Self-Employed Life. The Self-Employed Life, also by Jeffrey Shaw, is his podcast and his book. And now he has, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a year, he has a whole cohort that he puts through the Self-Employed Institute. So I'd definitely suggest those two books when you're first starting out, or if you need to sort out better how to serve your clients. Do you find that what worked in the past for marketing doesn't work if you repeat it? Not necessarily. So, I mean, so there has been some things I've tried and I thought, "Oh my gosh, I made it too complicated." So, maybe there's too many little actual things that I have, printed things, or it was just too many people mixed in the mix, or it cost me just too much overall, and some of those that I don't repeat. Um, but if you could think of that and just scoot it down to real, real small and still do it. So one thing that I've heard is you don't really know the results unless you try it 3 times. So, like, let's say this display marketing, right? So I put up this huge display at this groomer, and if that's the only display I ever did, do you think that I could crunch the data enough to say, yes, this is a good tactic or it's not? Not really, because I need to do at least 3 different businesses, in my opinion. And then that's the more expensive way, marketing tactic, of course, right? But if you're a higher end place, you're going to have to spend a little bit more money. So in my thought, okay, so I've got a display up at a coffee shop, a display up at um, the really high end pet boutique in Old Town. I've got a display up at this higher end groomer. And if I've got this nice variety, then this type of thing, after about 6 months, I can crunch the numbers and go, okay, when I ask people, how do you find out about me? If they said display, 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 phew, I'm going to do more displays. And so that's why I've done more displays. But if you're doing something like Spring Me, or what did I call it last year, Garden Pause, where I had the garden themed mini sessions, limited edition sessions, what that started out was those were just images I took just for the shelter. And then after a little bit, I thought, oh my gosh, people are asking if I'll do this for them. So I opened it up to the public and said, okay, so this, like in the morning, I think I did all of the shelter dogs. That was my volunteer piece. And in the afternoon, I scheduled like 15-minute back to back. This was pre COVID at this greenhouse. And I made money and I was able to donate. Now, I think it went great. I really liked it. If I were to do that again, I would change up the products I offered. I would run it a little bit different. I did not have a studio space at that time to meet the clients back again. I had another setup which was okay, but um, so the Spring Me I would do again, but it's really difficult these days with the COVID. So I just kind of scrapped it this year. Last year I did it in my studio and wore masks and thing, which was okay, but I could not afford to have a whole greenhouse look to the plants, so it just wasn't the same. So I thought, okay, it's run its course. I did the Spring Me pictures for like 5 years. 2 of them were paid options. And I thought, you know what? This is not something I want to continue with. Maybe down the road when I feel comfortable doing 15-minute back-to-back sessions at the greenhouse. Those were lush and pretty and wonderful. And we even had the flower collars and the whole thing. Maybe I'd revisit that. So I think that so in that case, for your question, Lisa, that was something that worked in the past, like, so part of that was a COVID thing, right? But also, when I tried it again and I realized what's my bigger picture and what do I really want to do, I kind of looked at that and thought, well, this is a cool, unique thing because I think that when you do a limited edition or a mini session type of thing, it needs to be something you don't normally do. That's my opinion. So the Spring Me at the greenhouse or in the studio with all of the greenery around, that's not something I normally do. I'm not usually prop heavy. Sometimes the clients will have a bow tie or something, or I'll have my little set of flowers, fake flowers. But I realized like I just don't do prop heavy stuff. And I felt like it came through. I wasn't jazzed about it. So that was another reason why I thought what worked before doesn't work now. Yeah. So I'm thinking I might do either kind of like a presentation for the Pro Pet Photog website, or I'm trying to figure out how to put this together, but these days I feel like I'm working on a project basis. So I don't hear a lot of people talk about project-based marketing. If you saw my podcast episode by Franklin Taggart, I'll put his name in here. I believe this is the name of his YouTube channel, Franklin Taggart Coaching. He's my creativity coach here in Colorado. And so I meet with him occasionally. And he has actually a daily podcast on YouTube, which also goes over to like Spotify and stuff. But every Friday or one Friday a month, I can't remember how often he does these. He does interview. So he interviewed me and we talked about project-based marketing that I've been working on for all the aspects of the different business branches I have. And then, oops, this way. And then we talked about some other things, YouTube and whatnots. But I did talk about project-based marketing there, which is really interesting for the way that I work. So I'm really not that person who at the beginning of the year or the quarter, I can do, I don't know. I just can't do this. Tell me if this is something that you like. Maybe because it could just be my personality. It could be my personality. Um, I can't just sit down with a calendar and go, here's my marketing calendar. And get into Planoly. And okay, so on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to do a reel. On Tuesday, I'm going to do a carousel. This is like Instagram. On Thursday, I'm going to do like behind the scenes. And I'm going to do that every single week for 12 weeks. That's an awesome idea. And it has worked so well for so many people because you could do like, um, all of your stuff in a group, you know? So you might do a whole bunch of those, like 5 reels in a day. What's that called? I can't remember. Um, you bulk create essentially. So set aside like every first Monday and just make all this stuff. And then you edit it and you schedule it. You actually schedule it in whatever scheduling app you have. And that works so well for so many people. There's a lot of people who look at the, like the dog holidays throughout the year and they're like, oh, this is puppy day. I'm going to post a puppy. Oh, this is dental health month. This is senior pet day or month or whatever it is. And you could really do well with that. But my personality, I just can't do it. I'm having such a hard time. So I just have a different approach these days, and I think I might do a video about that. Seriously, I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow. This is driving me nuts. Um, so that's kind of I've gone off on a tangent, but that's I'm just still talking about marketing and finding clients and all that. Patty, I'm thinking of rejoining the dog club we belonged to a long while ago for 2 reasons. Okay, okay. What do we got? They help me get my current dog, and maybe I can take photos of their dogs at events. Maybe I can get some business contacts. I love that idea, especially Patty, because you already know them and they know you, and that's a common base of interest. I think that's a wonderful idea. And it's a low barrier entry to you. It could be nice, like, "Oh, Patty, what are you doing now?" And everyone will be like, "Hey, welcome back." I That sounds so friendly and easy, and really a good foot in the door of that community of fellow dog lovers. Those are people who, their dog is their kids, right? Or they're a huge chunk of their life. So portraits are probably something that's crossed their mind. Love it. Thumbs up, Patty. Lisa, I live by a marketing calendar. You create Notion, execute, and Planoly. Oh, I thought Notion and Planoly were similar. See, I don't even know. And on Facebook and on my blogs, it works well for me. I'm a planner. Yeah. See, okay. So it's my personality. I love the idea of that. I love that you could bulk create, right? And then you just get it all ready to go. I can't get myself to do it. I don't know. I can't get myself to do it. I know I can hire someone, but it's just not high priority for me. I find that social media for me is to let people know I'm still here. I'm still here, still here, still here. I can't say I've ever had anyone that said, "Oh, I'm hiring you based on that Instagram post you did last week." There's not like a direct ROI, is what I'm saying, which is fine because it's a matter of you want to just be everywhere. My big goal with marketing and everybody in my community knowing who I am is just like they don't remember where they found me. They just know me from everywhere. That's kind of where I'm at a little bit in my community now. Um, So when I ask people, "How'd you find out about me?" Sometimes they're like, "I'm not sure, I just know you from somewhere." A lot of times it's my work with the shelters. They see my car driving around. We were at the coffee shop yesterday morning and, like, a car pulls up, we're sitting outside, car pulls up, and she's like, "Monique?" I was like, "Yeah?" "Oh my gosh, I saw your car, I was hoping I could see you," and, like, she's someone I'd met at a, networking event, and I made a connection for her that we're working out good. Anyway, my husband's like, "You know everybody." So, kinda the goal is so everyone says, like, "I don't know, I just see you everywhere." So, social media has to be part of that, right? It does, and I wish I could be more like Lisa and just, like, boom, 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 and put it all in there. Ah, someday. Golly. I even saw somebody, he's is he a photographer? I think so, and a videographer, one of the younger guys on YouTube with a big channel, and he was saying that where he shares photos now is Twitter, not really even Instagram much anymore. I was like, "Geez, really?" And I hadn't been over to Twitter for a while, so I just threw something over there. I don't know if I'll really keep up on it, but that was his thought. He does a lot of higher end B2B stuff, though. He's not like B2C, like we are business to consumer. He's business to business. Um, so I'm sure Twitter and like LinkedIn probably worked really well for him. Heather, I can't plan like that, sadly. I've organized when I need to post on LinkedIn, but I write it each morning. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I know. We're all a little bit different. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Um, I actually I watched a podcast. I think it was one of Jeff's podcasts, and there was a couple of guys on there that own this business, and they email market, and they send an email. You're not going to believe this. They send an email every single day. I was like, "What?" And they had, like, all this data to back it up, and it's short, but they do what you do, Heather, is every single morning, he says, "I put my coffee on to brew, and then I swivel this way, sit at my laptop, type out an email, send." By the time the coffee's done, his email sent every single day. Now they are talking to people who want to up their email marketing game, so they are expecting to get emails. But it was a very interesting podcast because he also said, "I make sure I have a call to action in every single email." So here's his little story of the day or his tip or whatever it is. And then, "Hey, by the way, if you want to learn more, here's this program or this course or whatever." So there's always a call to action. And he has a really good open rate and good sales rate. So I'm not saying you should write an email every day, but you can do stream of consciousness. And that's what Franklin's podcast is too. Every day he just sits down with his coffee, talks 10 minutes about what's on his mind, and it's always helpful. It's always good stuff. So there's a lot of ways to do it. Troy said he's not either. Yeah, yeah. We all need a little dose of whatever inspiration Lisa has. Not insurance Twitter. I know. I have to keep up with Facebook and Instagram. I know, me either. Golly. I thought about I know, that is a commitment. Now, honestly though, I could do it. You all know me. I'm the idea person. I actually could write an email every single day. But I would get real tired between everything that I do. Because at this point, I do write 2 emails a week, one for all of you and then one for my clients. So I do write 2 emails a week, and oftentimes there's at least one blog that goes with that. I could totally do it. Yeah, I could totally do it. Oh my gosh, but I'm not putting that on my plate right now. I know if you watched my YouTube video last week, I am prone to burnout without realizing it. So I will often want to execute on every idea, and then I get real burnt out and I don't see it until it's like bam, I'm on the couch for a whole day. Just like I can't even get the energy to sit in front of this computer. So I did think of a video. I'm not going to promise I'm going to make this, but I'm trying to think like what's the best incentive for me to get going better on Instagram, because I actually have 3 accounts. My husband's doing one a little bit more now, but um I thought about making a video of the laziest Instagram strategy ever. and trying it. Like, I won't share it with you until I've done it for a week or two. So I have some ideas in mind for, okay, if I could, I if my goal was to post something on Instagram every single day besides a story, if my goal was to, like, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, to post on Instagram something every day, the laziest way possible, but obviously keeping in mind, like, I want it to reach somebody. I don't wanna just scroll out into nothingness, which a lot of it does anyway, right? Um, what could be the laziest way possible for someone like me? So I might do that. I don't know. I might do it after I get back from my trip. But I thought that would be interesting. That'd be interesting. If y'all are interested, I might figure out the laziest way to win at Instagram. It's changing a lot, right? What are you gonna do? Like, may as well experiment. Like we were talking about, try this, try that. Instagram is one of those prime places. Lisa, like I think it was you that was asking, what got us here? Will it get us there? Instagram, whatever we were doing 2 years ago, just forget it. You know what I mean? Like, now it's all about this over here. So you just got to roll with it and experiment, I think. Yeah. Oh, Patty, don't get overwhelmed. You do, right? Oh no, I know. So, I mean, have a good cry. Do what it takes. And then kind of look and go, okay, that's why. This is why. Oh, I wonder often, like, I had a time where I was raising 5 kids that were all about the same age, and I had 2 dogs and some chickens and a cat and a husband who didn't help with anything, and I managed a veterinary practice, and I did photography on the side. I'm like, "I did all that. How am I so tired now?" Of course, that was I was in younger days, right? Oh my gosh. That video about burnout was so helpful. Oh, thank you. Oh, I didn't get a ton of comments on that. So I thought, well, maybe that was too hot a take with the self-care idea. I feel like I'm a little bit choppy on the internet. Sorry, everyone. Yeah. You're concentrating on LinkedIn. One of the things, Heather, when I teach at networking events and, conference type things, it's been online, but when I teach about social media, I talk about picking one first and going all in. If you're just starting with your social media presence and you want to make an impact and you want to feel like, okay, you got this, pick one. So that is perfect. If you're going to concentrate on LinkedIn, really go all in. Awesome. And I'll help with burnout. So instead of just going, I'm going to go all in on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram and Twitter, that will definitely burn you out. You will overwhelm, register your business, applied for the census job. Oh, which has lots of training, and took your dog to the vet because he ate chocolate. Yes. How was he doing? Oh, darn it. Chocolate, why does it have to taste good to dogs too? Ah, okay, Lisa, you like lazy. I kind of doubt that, but I will do it for you. Troy asks, what types of things does everyone offer with the sessions? As pet photographers, we can't really offer hair and makeup artists, right? What sets us apart from others? Love that question. That could be a whole video. Troy, are you on the YouTubes? Do you make videos for YouTube? You have so many good ideas for teaching. What types of things does everyone offer with their sessions? As pet photographers, we can't offer hair and makeup artists. What sets us apart from others? Do you want to start, Troy? What do you do that sets you apart? Lucas is doing fine. Oh my gosh, good. Yeah, okay. So that's what I thought I remembered seeing, but I wasn't sure a few days later, like, how is he really still doing good? Oh my goodness. I think y'all know within 2 weeks, 1 week of us adopting Bailey, she ate high end chocolate truffles. Yeah, and we had to rush her to the vet within having her in a week, and I had put them away, and she found them, like $25 worth of chocolate truffles. You don't have one, Troy? Oh, YouTube channel? Okay, well, darn. Let's see, Marie. May has been your busiest month since opening my business. Awesome. I'm spending majority of my time on editing and customer communication, so I failed to share on any socials. Well, you know, you got the clients. You got to do order a priority, right? um, yeah, I hear you. That's awesome. I think I was saying the other day, I think May is my favorite season. uh, this May sometimes here in Colorado, it's, like, really, like, a rainy time, which is weird. They call it mud season. That's when the snow is melting and there's some spring rain. We need more rain, but it's been beautiful, gorgeous so far. I've done a ton of sessions. So whoop whoop for Marie. Yes. Okay. So I would say, Troy, to answer your question, what sets me apart? Um, well, this year I do have an assistant, so that's really nice. That helps a lot of people feel better that I have Frank with me on every session. So they know that I'll have my wagon, I'll have my assistant. I edit out leashes. I mean, everybody does that, right? But having an extra hand there sometimes makes people feel so much better. So that's been helpful. Also that I photograph cats. So that's different in my area. I photograph cats and I photograph people. So pets with their people. Mural, like, so her with her 2 dogs, and actually the next picture had her horse right here. So a lot of pet photographers will not photograph people, and I love photographing people. That's how I started out as a professional photographer, was people. Remember all those kids I just talked about, all of their friends. So for me, so far it's been, oh, I can be in the photo too, where other dog photographers and pet photographers won't do that. So that's really been a huge thing that set me apart. And then the few clients that I have that have cats, they kind of like that. Another thing that sets me apart in my area is all of the shelter work I've done. And I know that doesn't set me apart in every part of the world. Um, but that's really helped because I hear people say, "Oh, that's Monique. She's the one who takes all the pictures of the adoptable pets and your pets." So that's taken time though, right? Yeah. Let's see. So Troy gives handmade dog treats, not your pet store variety. Oh, so I was on a PPA workshop. Were you on that? I don't think you were. PPA workshop Saturday all day. She does that too. She has these really simple dog treats, and she said part of her reason too for that was she doesn't want all these other dog treats in her studio in case one slides under something and a dog that's allergic to those ingredients gets them. So she likes to make them for that. Interesting. So do people really like those dog treats? That's pretty cool. Because you could use them at the session and you can give them like as a little goodie bag when you hand them their order at the end. That's cool. Lisa, also artwork is either handmade here in Minnesota or in Italy. Oh, so where you actually get the prints. That sets you apart. Nice. Okay. Really high quality prints and products. Cats, forget about it. I know they're rough. They're so rough. But, honestly, not many people have their cats photographed. What's an interesting statistic in the US is there are twice as many cats in households than dogs, or even more. What was the latest statistic? But anyway, if you think of all the different households, there's one dog to every 2 cats. But what's also interesting is those cats never go anywhere. So when I worked in the veterinary field, even though there's this massive amount of cats, 75% of our clients were dogs, even though the cats all needed the help too. Anyway, it's very interesting. Cats, I usually go to their house too. Senior Yaxon. Both of my dogs ate a lot of chocolate chip cookies that I was hidden when I stepped out of my house for a minute. Oh my gosh. They're just irresistible. Ooh, I have chocolate chips in the cabinet. I can make cookies. Ooh, I kicked out my husband though. My husband left corporate about 6 weeks ago. So he works from home, doing his own business now and our other photography channel. And I said, "You gotta leave. You gotta go. You gotta go. Just go get your haircut. Bring me back a Dairy Queen Blizzard." So he's gonna bring me a Blizzard, I think. I texted it to him. I hope your dogs are okay, Senior Yaxon. Was this recently? Okay, oh, here it is. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. Yucky. Because you know how they have to take care of that. Grossness. Relationship with shelters are key. I think so. I think so. And they have such a huge reach. So if you really get to know them and they get to like know you and trust you and know, okay, so they're going to be around for a while. And then their quality of work is good and their integrity is good, then they keep working with you and they have huge lists, right? So they might have 10,000 people on their email list. So when you do one of those collabs, like mini session type of thing, then those fill up very quickly. And I'm doing a big project this year and all the spots filled in 10 days because I was working with 2 shelters. So it's a everybody wins kind of thing. Troy, 3XM. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've heard of them. So are you doing those Oh, was it Mary Fisk Taylor? She was talking about that with the boxes that you slip in the picture in the front, but it's deep so you can put more pictures in there. So, are you doing one of those? I think I saw a friend of mine who's like a women's photographer. She's got that, and I meant to ask her, but it was a big summit, so I never got a chance to. Cat owners are reluctant and not willing to spend as much on cats. Yeah, it's interesting, right? And I think a lot of cat owners just assume that you'll never be able to photograph their cat. So there's that. Patty, you'll do cats? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so what's interesting is that I never even thought about it. I just did it. Uh, Because when I first started, I didn't have my pet photography brand. I had just people photography brand, but once I retired from the veterinary hospital, I missed all the animals every day. And so I was driving around and found this shelter and said, "Hey, can I?" And then when I found this cat shelter, I was like, "Hey, can I help you out?" And I hadn't really photographed cats before, but I just went in and I was like, "They need me. They need pictures of these cats so they could be adopted. Look at how many kitties there are." And I just did it. And so now I know how to do it. So it's a good training grounds, that's for sure. Yeah. So yeah, Patty, that's something you and I that set us apart. Like Troy was asking, we will photograph cats if need be, and sometimes that's just a really great conversation starter with people. They'll go, "Oh, what do you photograph? Dogs, cats, horses, cats? Are you serious?" And then you get this whole conversation going. So sometimes that's all you need. It's just that's your little bit of your marketing, your stories. Yes. Oh, I forgot already what I asked Troy. Oh, goodness, I'm terrible. Ugh, I'm so chatty. Here, let me get a drink of water. Y'all can catch up with me. We have, 9 minutes left, okay? I like talking through the marketing. I like thinking about it and everybody throwing out their ideas. It's something that we work on all the time, and it's so important. So, I'm so glad that we're talking about these things. Yay. One thing I will say about social media is remember the social part of it. Oh, the folio boxes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, Troy. Yes, you're doing the folio boxes. That's cool. I'd love to see um, a sample of that with a dog in it. Remember to share your website because I want to go sneak a peek. Yay. I forgot what I was going to say. So that's okay. I'll move on. I used to know someone who did cat shows with his cats. I think he and maybe others who do cat shows would spend money on a portrait. Oh, cat shows. That could be. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't even know how you get into that. Hmm. I guess it's just like any other show, right? You get to know the people running the show, you pay for a booth or they invite you in, and I suppose you do the photos right there. Interesting. Hmm. I like it. Oh, I know what I was saying. Remember when you're marketing on social media, the first word of that is social. So just posting things is one thing. But you wanna go interact anytime someone leaves a comment. When anyone leaves a comment on any of my socials, I comment back. I try to. Sorry if I've missed anyone. But I try to comment back on everybody's post. You're being social. You're having a back and forth. Otherwise, it's just an art display, right? And the artist isn't even present. So everyone's like, "Oh, that's pretty," and they walk on past. "That's pretty," they walk on past. So you have to remember to be social and go to their page and say something. I need to do better with this with like my Pro Pet Photog Instagram page. I need to go over to all your pages and comment and say, "Oh, you're doing a great job." Or I need to go and I do comment on like the local shelters. When they post something, I'll say a little something. The groomer, my dog trainer, when they do stuff, I try to like and comment, interact. So all of this is social. Just be sure you give yourself some time to actually be social on social media, right? Yeah. Lisa, I'm looking to make inroads with the state's Cat Fancier Society. That is who sponsors cat shows here. Ah, interesting. Cat Fancier Society. Let us know how that goes. Okay. Huh. LinkedIn could work with that if you find the person who runs it on LinkedIn and send them a connection request, something like that, or an email. Cat Fancier Society. Interesting. Social is key on LinkedIn, yeah. Yeah. I know. I kinda come and go from LinkedIn. I was using that as a way to connect with other businesses. So all the business videography services I offer, I was working on doing the marketing for that on LinkedIn because that's where businesses are. And then I got so wrapped up in this other project for the main part of my studio that I haven't gone back. So every once in a while, I'll remember and pop over to LinkedIn and and post something and follow people. And there's some really great articles on LinkedIn. I love that about that platform. Patty, it appears the United Cat Club does cat shows. I think they may be like AKC all dog breed shows. Oh, okay, okay. Interesting. I think it would kinda depend on how much you wanna travel, because I would assume, like, if you can get, like Lisa was saying, an inroads and, once a year when that show comes to your city, maybe you're the contracted photographer for that. Or you could also do the business model where you follow shows around. Now you're gonna see the same group of people. I'm thinking, like, if they're in Kansas City, and then they're in Denver, and then they're in Phoenix, like, they make the circuit potentially. Um, but I know there's a lot of, like, dog show photographers, horse show photographers, that's what they do. They pack everything up and they just follow all the different shows around, and they are the contracted photographer at those events. If that's the kind of, like, environment you wanna be in and everything, that's a way to go. Or you could just one-off it, and every single year when they come to your city, you could do it that way. I'm not sure. I'd be curious to hear how you all are taking advantage of that. Ye Ooh, what else we got going on? Any last minute questions, KL? We have 4 minutes left. I haven't seen anyone share their website. Where's your websites, everybody? Share them. I suppose you can always come back through and click on people's names. And if you have any kind of YouTube account, you'll have a information area. So there's that. What else do I have to tell you all? So we've got um I have a lot of videos in mind so far. So Lisa, I kind of do. So what Lisa's talking about is the email list. So if any of you want to meet up in real life, and I didn't get anybody except maybe you, Lisa, a couple weeks ago, I need to have your input really soon so I can block these days off. If anyone wants to come up to my area of Colorado, it's going to be kind of meetup style, but we're gonna have, like, a day of and it's only gonna be, what, I say 5 or 8 people? 5 or 8 people limit because my studio is so small. We might do some studio photography, some on-location photography. We're gonna have a business Q&A day and, like, have some lunches together. And so I'm doing a gathering. And all the details are in the Pro Pet Photog email newsletter that comes out, and I had a big blast about that on Friday. But I made a requirement that you need to email me back. So I think, Lisa, you're on the list so far. Um, and so your commitment would just be saying, yes, you're going to go, and then figuring out how to get here and where to stay. So I can't house anyone, but if you can get transportation here and around town, I'm an hour from Denver International Airport. There's actually Loveland Airport. It's real tiny though. Or is it Fort Collins? Anyway, there's a small airport here you might be able to fly into. I don't know. That's like 20 minutes away, 15. So you'd have to fly in or somehow get to this area and then get lodging. And so I have several hotels around here. It's a really pretty town, and I got my little studio, and I just want to meet some of you. I really do. I just want to meet you. I want to get together. Let's ask questions in person. Let's get a chance to set up and tear down the studio. Let's get a chance to wander around some natural area here in Fort Collins with a dog. Let's ask questions. Let's just sit down and have lunch together and just brainstorm all the things that you need to do to make a successful fall and beyond for your studio. That's what I want to see for everyone. So if you think you can get to Colorado in late August, send me a message and I'll give you the rest of the details. Because I really want it to be people who kind of know me and get what I'm trying to do. Um, you know what I mean? So all of you, that kind of thing. Yeah. So that is what Lisa's talking about. Check your emails. Yeah. Let's see. Senor Yaxon, networking a bit, slowly getting into dog sports. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. And you still have the contact at the doggy daycare too, right? That's a good business partnership. Enjoy your break. Oh, I know. You're going to be far away by then, Catherine. Oh, crazy next 2 months. I'm talking about end of August. So, that'd be awesome. Actually, you could probably drive here. I think it's like a 14-hour drive from Denver. That's kind of far though, isn't it? I don't know. Oh gosh. Um, so yeah, I'd love to get to know like 5 or 8 of you. Honestly, there's gonna be no cost. I'm gonna provide lunch a couple of those days, and you just have to pay to get yourself here. So it's just like 2.5, 3 days. That's it. Next year, maybe. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to do this more. Maybe have a true workshop style one time, You did drive to Estes Park a few years ago. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's about the same. I think that's about the same distance. Yeah. Love Estes Park. Love it. Oh gosh. Yeah, we're gonna do way more videos for the other channel up there in Rocky this summer, I think. So exciting. All right. Last minute things. Let me give you all of the contact information one more time while you squeeze in any last minutes because we're straight at 4 o'clock. So I want to respect everyone's time. ProPetPhotog.com. That is the clearinghouse. That's where you find everything. I have courses and Canva templates and checklists. Some are free, some are paid. I have the community center, all kinds of things. That's where you get on the email list. If you want to be part of our Facebook private community, just go to this bit.ly link, bit.ly/ProPetPhotogFB, Facebook. Here's my Instagram, also ProPetPhotog. That podcast that I need to catch up on. ProPetPhotog again. Monique at ProPetPhotog.com. If you are curious about this August retreat, just send an email right there. Okay. That's what we're going to do. Check out my wildlife and nature photography channel that I have with my husband here on YouTube. And he actually just built a webpage for it. Look at him go. Retired. Okay. So before we sign off, I'm just going to see if there's any more questions. There is not, but I'll catch up with y'all next month. You know that. We're always going to have this YouTube live. Well, we'll see if I get swamped busy, maybe not, but I'm here for you. Okay. So everyone have a fantastic week. Let me pull up my thing here. Have a super, super week. Message me if you need anything. It's so, so great to see you all again. Have a wonderful May and spring wherever you're at. Great conversation. Thanks for being here. Yay. And so what do we always say? You can all say it with me. As always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATS. Okay, bye everyone. Bye. See you in the Facebook group. Okay, bye.